before when I first went to Ryerson some time ago, there wasn't a game developer in course or class or anything. So me and a bunch of friends decided to, all right, let's just start a club and see how difficult it is. So we didn't necessarily know how to make games too well. Maybe some of us had some experience with Unity, GameMaker, and various tools. But yeah, so we decided to start it, and so yeah, like I was saying, I was one of the original founders. And so my vision when I started it was pretty much just a great place for people to get together to pretty much work on something together. So build projects together, learn more about game development, and pretty much, I guess, build a little community in Ryerson since we didn't have anything else like that. And also, because I was in comp sci, there seems to be a giant bias. We did notice when we were signing up people during club days, pretty much everyone was in computer science. So there was also a slight problem because of that, because everyone wanted to program, liked the program, and we didn't have any artists or any type of graphics at all. And that's a little bit of a bottleneck, but yeah, as time goes by, you'll notice different leaders ran the group a little bit differently, and they had different visions on how the club should go and directions it should pretty much roll in. And yeah, so I'm surprised it's still around, because when I was when near the end of I guess my term, you could say, it was kind of falling apart, and I was kind of keeping everything together with duct tape and glue. It's like, all right, guys, I know I have to do almost everything, but it sounds like you're trying. You guys, kind of support me and kind of run events, and then it all worked out in the end, right? So that's pretty much how we started, or how I imagine, or remember we started. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go a little bit through about how I progressed as a game developer. So there's not too much. It's more of like how I became, I guess, a game developer. I guess I started with. I didn't tell you my name, did I? No one knows who I am. All right.
I did a bad job introducing you.
I'm Victor, as I start this story. So yeah, so I'm gonna go through a few of my games. Like I was actually surprised. Some of them didn't work. I got as many as I could before it kind of work. Because some of these are as old as 2004. So that's pretty much when I started learning. And the first thing I used was GameMaker. And that's where I learned, the basic aspects of programming and stuff, and found me interested in computer science. So yeah, let me just start off with kind of the first thing. It's not actually my first game, but it was the oldest thing I could find on my hard drive at the time. So let's start by actually running through it. Let's see. Maybe I should close the menu where I started. Alright, so this is pretty much very close to the beginning of the first things I ever made. So it's very simple. I was, 13? And essentially it just had simple arrow keys. Look, I can kind of run around, pick up guns, Right, so this is kind of one of the first things I ever made. It's pretty simple, right? Like everyone starts with something, good foundation, right? You do like get the inspiration to kind of build something and just start off small.
What did you build it in?
That one, everything here is in GameMaker.
Okay.
I don't have anything really based at the moment on me. I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. I guess something a little newer would be this one. It's not the original because I decided to refactor and redo it again. I don't think the original sounds like that. It sounds like there's compression artifacts from when I converted it. So I'm just going to down a bit. But yeah, when I was a kid, I really liked playing video games with my cousins. So I always liked building, co-op games where we either work together to defeat the enemy. And this is kind of, I guess, there's both versus and co-op. And essentially, this is why kind of stepping into like basic AI, kind of run around, fire bullets. The aim of this game was pretty much the two armies, and they always fought each other. and pretty much the players stop respawning when there's no more allies on their side, and you'd win essentially when the other side reduced to 0. And I also worked with little power-ups and all that stuff. It was a good experiment. And as you see, I made all the graphics myself, and they're not really the greatest. Some of them are probably ripped from the internet, if I remember correctly.
That's how you do it.
But yeah, so actually this is my first competition game, because Game Maker used to have kind of a competition they had every once in a while. So I actually did all the graphics myself. I think in high school I had 3D animation, so I got a little bit of building 3D models and kind of texturing things, and so I took kind of that skill to be my art. Right, so I used what kind of little skills I had in art and kind of just built something. Right, so there's like, actually this is one of my first finished games. Right, a lot of things you see, I look back, like I have so many incomplete projects, unfinished things, and just broken stuff. Right, but that was all kind of building blocks and learning and building who I am and how I program. Like I'm not gonna go too deep into this one. I guess I'll let you guys try after if we have time when I'm still around. But I had the full tutorial, how to play. Gameplay was pretty simple. Essentially, you look around the map and you kind of just view how would I solve this puzzle, right? So, and then when you're done looking around, you control one of the 2 characters. Right, so you control one character at a time, and pretty much when you're done, you press spacebar, and that kind of ends the turn for that character. Then you have the next turn, where you see the next character. And the goal was very simple. Essentially, you're supposed to work together to reach the end of the map. Right? Cooperate with me. But yeah, so I forgot to mention the theme. The theme of it was cooperation. Right, so it's essentially cooperating with yourself, with what you did in the past and the future. And yeah, I think I did a pretty good job, considering I just did everything myself and whatnot. And I guess I'm going to jump straight to the present. So the first thing I made was 2014, and then it probably goes up to my more recent game jam. That's how you quit something. Anyway, this is something more recent. I actually didn't do the art this time, so I had some friends that were professional designers and graphic artists. So as you see, the graphics quality is much better. They have all the colors and the shapes and whatnot. So yeah, so this is pretty simple. It's pretty much you combine you kind of say there's some sound effects in here, I believe. I wonder if they're still working. Bike along, and you avoid traffic, or you hit vehicles. It's up to you.
We're back on the sidewalk.
Oh, I'm disappointed. There's no sound. So much better with sound. Just believe it, trust me. But yeah, so after this phase, essentially as you bike around avoiding traffic and running over pedestrians, so when this phase kind of finished, there was kind of a second little stage where the blending comes into effect. Just give me maybe a couple seconds and we'll reach the end of this.
Are you getting hit by the traffic, or sort of?
Doesn't stop your delivery service.
Only biting the car.
He's a ghost.
But the reason why you didn't want to bump into things is because as you bumped into more things, you get more and more kind of trash when you're trying to make your smoothie. Let's see. Alright, so let's kind of just assemble my smoothie.
Oh, the rat. What is it?
Alright, no. There you go.
Are those cabbages?
Wait, I need that. So initially this was designed for a phone, so you'd be tilting left and right, pressing grab and down as you needed to grab what's the last ingredient. There we go. Yeah. is something more kind of closer to recent times, but as you see, like everyone starts off with something really simple, and then as time passes, they get better and better, and they find people that make up the pieces that they're missing to build something really more amazing. Really wish you guys could have heard the sound, but it's fine. Maybe I'll show it later, and then you guys can actually hear the sound. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I kind of progressed as a game developer. Still not that great at it, but it's all about just slowly building up and getting better at it, like any skill. Right? And yeah, that's the end of my section of the presentation. Ian, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Ian, he's kind of like the second generation.
Version 2.0.